One of the key skills that is often overlooked in a math class is the ability to reason through information. A helpful skill to develop is to sketch a picture to help focus your attention on the important information and important relationships. The best way to become proficient with word problems is through solving word problems. There is no other way to do it. The purpose of this example is more about how you think than it is about the problem itself. The key to most trigonometric word problems is a good diagram. In fact, drawing an accurate diagram is an essential step towards solving a wide range of word problems. Example: a boat leaves the dock traveling due east at 25 knots for 2 hours. It then changes course to north 15 degrees east at 20 knots for another hour. Determine the ship's bearing from the dock. We need to break this problem down into an understandable drawing. We will start from the dock. If the boat travels due east at 25 knots for 2 hours, it travels a total of 50 nautical miles to the east. Then it starts traveling north 15 degrees east. At this point, it is essential to draw the new bearing correctly. We have to draw the north-south line for reference, and we also need to make sure that we turn 15 degrees to the east and not to the west. At the end of another hour, it has traveled another 20 nautical miles. The ship's bearing from the dock is the bearing of the line that connects the dock to the ship. From what we have, we know that it's going to be north something east. We'll call the unknown angle theta. Notice that this isn't a right triangle, so we can't immediately use our sine, cosine, and tangent functions. Later on, we'll learn some techniques for solving general triangles, but for now we're constrained to using right triangles. Based on the diagram, this is a helpful right triangle to think about. If we can determine these two distances, then we would be set. The vertical distance can then be attained from this smaller right triangle, and the horizontal distance would be the combination of this distance plus this distance. We want to start working with the smaller triangle. We know the length of the hypotenuse, but nothing else. So we're going to have to take a step back and see what information we have that might be able to help us. We know that this angle is 15 degrees, and we know that we have a right angle here. This means that this angle is 75 degrees. And now we can focus on just the smaller triangle. We can solve for the lengths of the legs of the triangle using sine and cosine. Here are the results. We now take this information and look at our big triangle. Notice that we don't have a label for the angle inside of the triangle, so we will call that alpha. We have the horizontal distance and the vertical distance, so tangent of alpha is equal to 19.3185 divided by 55.1763. Using a calculator, we can determine that alpha is about 19.3 degrees. We're nearly done now. We know that alpha and theta are complementary angles, so theta is 70.7 degrees. This means that the bearing from the dock to the boat is north 70.7 degrees east. This is not an easy problem. It required several steps of logic to solve. Students tend to make mistakes on these problems by plugging in angles into the wrong places. For example, many students label the entire large angle as being 15 degrees, or they stop at solving for alpha and just declare it to be the answer. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut to avoiding these mistakes. You must be able to draw a picture and carefully label the parts, and then you must correctly reason your way through the information. Watching a word problem is not good enough to learn how to do word problems. You're going to have to work through some yourself. They don't all fit a single form, and you are going to have to practice the skill of problem solving to be successful. Here are two of the problems that we'll be working on in class. Remember that the problem-solving method begins with drawing an accurate diagram. After that, you're just going to have to ask yourself what information you're seeking and see how you can get there from where you've started. Each problem is different and will require you to think carefully about the diagram to be successful.